Let's do this, Super Brain. Welcome back. In this lesson, we're going to be talking about how to give a speech without notes. And I think this is one of the biggest fears. They say that one of the biggest fears in the world is public speaking. I think it actually is in many cases number one. I think number two is fire. Number three is death. And as the joke goes, that if you're at a funeral, most people would rather be in the casket than be the one that's giving the eulogy. And I think the reason why is because so many people are scared they're going to forget what they need to say. And so what I'm going to teach you in this lesson is how to remember the key points to a speech. And it could be whether you're giving a toast at a wedding, you're at a meeting giving a presentation, or you're just one-on-one with somebody and you just want to remember your thoughts. Because sometimes what happens is somebody distracts you, you go to answer a question, you come back and you're like, where was I? Are you familiar with this? It's like, what was I saying? What was I talking about? And this will help you to be able to mark your place. So this is one of my very favorite tools that you're about to learn also as well. So we're gonna go really deep in it in this lesson, and then we'll continue it also tomorrow. And so here we go. I'm going to practice with the 10 keys for unlocking your super brain. And I always come back to these fundamentals and think about how much you've accomplished over the past few weeks. The past few weeks we covered the fundamentals, we went over all the lifestyle hacks for having a super brain, we covered things like lists, we covered things like names and faces, we covered things like words and definitions and foreign languages. So I'm gonna ask you, how's your memory? How's your memory? It's what? It's super, right? And you're feeling that because you're seeing the marked progress. In this lesson, you're gonna see even more progress. I'm really excited about this for you. So what we're gonna apply this to is I wanna go back to the fundamentals and remember the 10 keys for unlocking your super brain. We're gonna go back to that and I'm gonna teach you how to memorize these because they are so important. They're so common sense, but they're not common practice. And the reason why I focus on the fundamentals is because when we're talking about habit change, which really is what everybody wants, right? Because first you make your habits and then your habits make you back, is starting with remembering, because you can't do something that you forgot in the first place. So that's why we focus on that. And so I'm gonna focus on the 10 keys, and you know them, but I'm gonna teach you how to memorize them as if you were gonna give a speech on it in front of a group of people. And so would you remember them? And there are many different ways you could do it. We talked about basic association. You could chain link them. You could do the PEG method if you like. And now I'm gonna give you another tool to be able to do that right now. And I call this the location method. And what we're gonna do is, this is where we're storing information in our environment, because we remember where things are. And so the way we're gonna do it is I'm gonna take you through a quick visualization exercise. Now really quick, do you remember the 10 things? Do you remember the 10 keys for unlocking your super brain? I want you to take out a sheet of paper, write down as many of the 10 keys for unlocking your super brain as you remember. I'll give you a hint. The first one is a good brain diet. So just go through it. We talked about it in previous lessons and we went deep in a number of them over the course of a number of days. Just write them down as you can. Ideally, you want to be able to write them down in order. So what was after a good diet? Okay, let's do it together. Number one was a good brain diet. Remember, this is our quick review. Spaced review, which is very important, which is why I love the format of this quest every single day. Number two was killing ants, automatic negative thoughts. Number three was exercise, very good. Number four, brain nutrients, brain vitamins. Number five, your positive peer group. Number six, clean environment. Number seven was sleep. 8, brain protection, like wearing a helmet. And 9 was what? New learnings, which is what we're doing every single day. And number 10 is stress management. So how would I go about memorizing this list? Now remember, the key here to give a speech without notes is you don't need to do it verbatim, right? You want it to sound natural. You just want to remember the main talking points, right? And you might not have a teleprompter, you might not have a PowerPoint or a keynote presentation, so how do you do it? You create places, and this becomes a filing system, similar to what we did with the PEG method, where the sun and the socks and the traffic light became places to store information. This time though, we're going to take places that we're familiar with. Now, since we all live in different places and we all work in different places, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you to a place that I'm familiar with, and it's my office. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go through a quick visualization exercise together. And what we're going to do is we're going to take 10 landmarks in my office, and then we're going to place each of the 10 elements, the 10 keys for developing a super brain in those places. So let's learn it by doing it together. I want you to take a deep breath. Everyone do this. Exhale, let it out. And if it's safe, just close your eyes through this visualization process. And I want you to imagine that you're flying to Westchester, New York. It's a suburb north of New York City, and you're on the plane, and it lands into Westchester Airport. You get out, and you're excited because you're coming to my office, and we're gonna do a speed reading course together, and you can't wait. You land, and a car picks you up. You're sitting in the back seat, and it's just driving through suburbia, normal suburban town. There's trees everywhere and homes and such, and you get to a big glass building. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to delineate 10 places at my office. So big building, the car goes around and it parks. So the first place is the parking lot. So I want you to say it out loud. What's the first place? Parking lot. Very good. The second place is, you notice that there's this waterfall and it creates like a little moat around the building. You have to cross a bridge to get to the building. The second place is the bridge. What's the second place? Say it out loud. It's the bridge. Good. You cross the bridge, and then you open a door to the building, and the third place is you get into the elevator. So what's the third place? Say it out loud. Elevator. And this is the active part. Remember being active as opposed to passive, right? So this is your auditory memory. You're in the elevator, the third place. The elevator goes up, you get out, there's your fourth place waiting for you. It's the hallway. What's the fourth place? Say it out loud. Hallway. Good. You open a door to my office. Immediately to the left is the closet. What's your fifth place? It's the closet. Very good. You go over to the sixth place, which is the receptionist. The receptionist is the sixth place. What's the sixth place? Say it out loud. Sixth place is receptionist. Behind the receptionist is this gorgeous fish tank. Gorgeous fish tank. Seventh place is the what? It's the fish tank. Very good. You walk over to the classroom where the speed reading class is, and you notice the eighth place is the door to the classroom. So what's the eighth place? Door. Very good. You open a door. And then up front in the classroom is the ninth place, which is the whiteboard. The whiteboard is kind of like a chalkboard with markers, right? The whiteboard. What's the ninth place? The whiteboard. And finally, the 10th place, along the side of the classroom are all these bonsai trees, like these Japanese plants. What are they? Bonsai. Very good. That's the 10th place. Now, you're the memory expert. You have a super brain. You have this super memory. What are the 10 places? Do you remember going on this little quest together? This is our memory quest. What was the first part of the quest? It was the, say it out loud, parking lot. Very good. From the parking lot, the second place is the what? It's the bridge. Good. The third place of the quest is what? Elevator. Good. You get out of the elevator. The fourth place is the hallway. You go into my office. Immediately to the left is the fifth place, which is the closet. After the closet, you go to the receptionist. That's the sixth place. Behind the receptionist is the seventh place, which is the fish tank. Good, and you're saying this with me. After that, the eighth place is the door to the classroom. Good. Ninth place is the whiteboard. And finally, the 10th place, say it out loud, is what? Bonsai. It's the bonsai plants, bonsai trees. Very good. So those are the 10 places. Now we have both parts of it, right? It's just like pi. Place, imagine, entwine. So here we have our 10 places, and now what we need to do is take the 10 keys for unlocking your super brain and imagine them like pictures, and then entwine the two. So let's do that together. I want you to take a deep breath, exhale, and close your eyes if it's safe, and I'm going to walk you through this quest, but this time along this journey of the 10 places, we're going to put each of the 10 keys for unlocking your super brain. So let's do this. We go over to the first place. First place is, say it out loud, the parking lot. When you get out of the parking lot, waiting for you is your treat. It's the good brain diet. I want you to get out of the car in the parking lot and imagine waiting for you is a good brain diet buffet. And you know what they are, right? Because you remember them. What was the first thing that's there? It's avocado. After that is what? Blueberries. After that you have broccoli, and then coconut oil, and then eggs, and then what? Green leafy vegetables. This is wonderful. Green leafy vegetables. And then you have salmon. Good. And what else do you have? You have some turmeric there. You have walnuts. You have your dark chocolate. So big brain, healthy, good brain, healthy diet is waiting for you, and you eat all of it. Just imagine you're going, and you're just, it's getting everywhere, right? After that, you go to the second place, which is what? It's the, say it out loud, it's the bridge. Very good. You need to remember the second thing, which is killing ants. So what do you do on the bridge? You're killing ants, automatic negative thoughts. I just want you to imagine you're stepping on those insects, those ants. You would never do that in real life, but it's so memorable because that's why, because it's so different. So you're killing ants crossing the bridge. See and feel yourself doing that. After that, third place is what? It's the elevator. So you need to remember number 3, which is exercise. So what are you doing in the elevator? You're doing your exercise inside the elevator. Maybe you're doing your super brain yoga, maybe you're doing calisthenics, maybe you're doing CrossFit, you're doing some kind of physical exercise, maybe your trainer is in there also with you. Imagine yourself doing that. Remember, you can't just hear me saying it, you have to see it and you have to feel it. Use all 3 of your senses. See it, feel it, hear it. Very good. After that, you get out of the elevator, you go to the 4th place, which is what? It's the hallway. I want you to imagine brain vitamins coming at you. So imagine brain vitamins are rolling towards you and you're jumping over them like you're Donkey Kong, like you're Indiana Jones, like you're Lara Croft, or you're jumping over these big bottles of omega-3s and B vitamins and vitamin E, all your brain vitamins, you're hopping over them. Good. See and feel yourself doing that, and because you're a little bit tired because you just exercised, right, in the elevator, but you're still working out like that. You open the door, immediately to the left is what? The closet. Now you need to remember in the closet are your positive peer group. All your happy friends are in the closet. So just imagine you open the closet and they're all there, your joyful, happy friends, positive peer group are in there, and you're celebrating, and there's happy faces, happy sticky notes everywhere. Great. Your happy friends, positive peer group. After that, we're halfway there, very good. You go over to the 6th place, which is what? The receptionist. And I want you to imagine the receptionist, because you need to remember a clean environment. So what is the receptionist doing? Cleaning the whole environment, cleaning the desk, cleaning, make sure everything has its place, bleaching everything, clean environment. Very good. After that, behind the receptionist is what? Fish tank, and you need to remember sleep. So what are the fish doing? They are sleeping. They're Nemo and Dory, they're in their pajamas, they're in their bunk beds, they're having a big sleepover, they're snoring. Imagine all this fish in the fish tank, they're sleeping, to remind you of sleep. And then number 8, what's number 8? It's the door to the classroom, the door. Imagine you're going there and it's locked and you can't get in. So what do? You put on your helmet to remind you of brain protection. Helmet, brain protection, and you headbutt the door open and it shatters and splinters and all these different pieces and you get in. That's kind of weird, right? But that's why you're going to remember it. Helmet, brain protection. Now, when you're in the classroom, the 9th place is what? Say it out loud. It is the whiteboard. Very good. The whiteboard's there. And you need to remember new learnings, new learnings. So I want you to imagine me, your super brain coach up front, and I'm writing the words new learnings right on the whiteboard. And I'm writing it in your favorite color, like you know, and we're about to start the speed reading class. And so we're writing it new learnings, whiteboard me. That's to remind you new learnings. And finally, the 10th place is what? The 10th place are the bonsai trees on the side of the classroom, and you need to remember stress management, So remember PIE, P-I-E, the place are the bonsai trees. Imagine, what are you imagining for stress management? What helps to lower your stress? Maybe you're getting a massage, maybe you're doing yoga, maybe you're meditating, but you're doing that where? On the bonsai trees. So imagine you're lying there getting a massage or back rub on the bonsai trees. That would never happen, but that's why you're going to remember it. Now, it takes a lot more time for me to explain this than it does to actually do this, right? So let's do this. Open up your eyes, take out a piece of paper, and what I want you to do is write down as many as you now remember. And if you don't happen to have a piece of paper, just say it out loud. See how many of the 10 that you remember. Go through it starting from the beginning. I don't need to know the place in my office. I just want to know what's the brain tip. Let's do it together. So let's say out loud, now, you are on stage and you need to give a presentation. on the 10 keys for unlocking your super brain, or maybe you're gonna talk to a friend and teach them this one-on-one when next time you go out for coffee. Let's do it together. Number one, is say it out loud, is what? Good brain diet. Number two, what's number two? Killing ants. Number three, say it, exercise. Very good. Number four, brain vitamins, brain nutrients. What about number five? What was in the closet? Like all my positive peer group, all my happy friends were in the closet. Very good. Number six, clean environment. Number seven, sleep. Very good. Number eight, what was number eight? A helmet, right? Brain protection. Number nine, new learnings. And finally, number 10, stress management. How's your memory? It's super. Can you believe this? I hope you can, because part of what we're doing on this quest is also we're changing those limiting beliefs. And I think one of the best ways to change a limiting belief is to get yourself to do something you never thought you could do. And here's something else. Can you do it backwards? You went on this quest forwards, but can you do the quest backwards, starting from the last one? Starting with stress management. What was before stress management? New learnings. Before that, wearing your helmet. Good. Brain protection. Before that, sleep. What was before sleep? Clean environment. Very good. Before that, you're in the closet. My positive peer groups. And what were you doing right before that? Jumping over those brain vitamins. And before that, exercising in the elevator. What about before that? You were killing ants, automatic negative thoughts. And finally, what was the very first one? A good brain diet. Super, amazing, congratulations. Now, isn't it interesting that we were able to do it, and it was those three things I mentioned in the very beginning of the quest, that it was fast, that it was fun, and also it was very fulfilling, meaning that you got this reward, right? It was very functional and very practical. You could apply it towards something in your everyday life. Now, here's your homework. What I want you to do is I want you to practice this. Practice this, go through it, rehearse it a little bit, and the big thing is I'd like you to teach one person over the next 24 hours. Over the next 24 hours, before we start our next lesson together, I want you to just teach one person this technique. Teach them about, hey, I'm going through this incredible quest. I'm unlocking my super brain, and I want to share something I just learned. Let me explain this to you. Because remember, when you teach something, what? You get to learn it twice. I want you to teach one person. You could teach them, you could have them walk through my office if you like, take the 10 places, and then put the 10 keys for unlocking your super brain. Because I really want you to own these 10 tips. So it's part of your lifestyle, it's part of who you are. And of course, go to the community and share with your tribe how many of the 10 you were able to do. Were you impressed with yourself? Were you able to do it forward? Share with us if you're able to do it backwards also as well. And tomorrow we're going to go deeper in this technique so you can walk on a stage or walk in front of a room or just be one-on-one with a group of people or one person without being embarrassed, without being nervous, without being scared, to have full confidence because you know you have your super brain. I'll see you tomorrow.